Good evening, everyone, and welcome to being all together in our new space, our new meditation space and book study space. And so I'd just like to invite you all to just kind of start to settle into this environment. And just kind of sensing and feeling this room and this space and whatever is here that may be different or touching you in some way or something that you might be aware of. And just taking a moment to notice if there's anything that is present with you that is pulling you away from being here, something that may be occupying your mind or your attention. And if it's possible, see if you can just let that go, at least for now. And just begin to settle into the body. And just aware of how your body is this evening. Acknowledging it. Perhaps saying hello to it. Reacquainting yourself with it. And feeling how the body fills out the seat that you're taking. As Jack Kornfield has said many times, we have an opportunity to take this very special one seat of awareness when we sit down to meditate. So this evening our meditation will be centered around the fourth noble truth, which is the Buddha's noble eightfold path to happiness. The next step within the Four Noble Truths of how we make cessation possible in our lives. Just taking a little bit more time to allow the body to find a place of ease. Allowing it to soften. While still maintaining that sense of I am awake. What the words the Buddha means, I am awake. So allowing your posture to have that sense of uprightness. And making a gentle effort to work with staying present and staying in your awareness, staying in this moment. We always have many tools available to us. We can open our eyes or take some deep breaths or drink some water or stand up. But working the practice, we can also just notice the effect of sleepiness or sloth upon us. And what it feels like in the body, not to run away from it, but to be present with it. That in itself can help to keep us wakeful. Taking some time to be mindful of hearing. How the sensation of sound reverberates through you. And notice what it's like to focus on the movement of the sound. So I'm bringing us more into the space of this room, the surround sound. And if anyone is feeling tonight any sense of pain or sorrow, any sense of difficulty in their life, loss, if you can allow the vibrations of the sound to massage you and soften you. Feeling this kind of miraculous way that we are supported by not only ground but by sound. And then allowing your attention to begin to inhabit your breathing, the sensation of your breath. Noticing how you're connecting with breath right now. Finding that place inside that we call the home base of breath. After the Buddha had diagnosed our spiritual illness and described its origins, he then prescribed a cure for this in the form of the Fourth Noble Truth. And what is the way leading to the cessation of suffering? It is just this Noble Eightfold Path that is wise view or wise understanding, wise thought or wise intention, wise speech, wise action, wise livelihood, wise effort, wise mindfulness, and wise concentration. So we talk about the path. What kind of a path is it that we are undertaking? The Buddha offered a map for our journey to happiness and contentment, and this he called the Noble Eightfold Path. And yet, it could also be called the Eightfold Circle. A path is linear. It often goes only back or forward, sometimes from here to there. And the nearer you are to there, the farther you are from here. A progressive path. On a linear path, you're obligated to start at the beginning and proceed in a straight way until the end. Yet with a circle, you can join anywhere, and it's the same circle. So we step into this path from wherever we are, and wherever we are is the perfect place to be on this path. So in that way, it honors our needs, who we are, our place in time and space. And does this path really have an ending? And because the beginning is any place we step onto it, it has no singular beginning. So just in that, we're offered freedom. Freedom in how we traverse it. We can walk nobly on this path to liberation. And discover on the way the 8 steps that will bring fulfillment and contentment, insight and wisdom, love and compassion, generosity and equanimity into our lives. Let yourself picture, if you will, this path for you. The shape and form that comes into your mind's eye. Walking it slowly, walking it with interest, and a willingness to discover what it will bring to me personally and how it will manifest interpersonally in my life with others. Because none of us are really alone. the many ways of walking the path. The monastery held a big public event celebrating the birth of the Buddha. As crowds of visitors came to commemorate the event, commotion and noise reigned through the monastery. In the early afternoon, 4 young monks decided to slip out the back gate. They had determined that they weren't needed and that their absence would not be noticed. They decided to take a hike, a well-trodden path into the mountains. As they hiked, one of the monks said, "I am so glad we decided to get away from all the chaos of the monastery. I was agitated by all the people and activity." Another monk replied, "It hadn't occurred to me that we were trying to get away from anything. I thought we left the monastery because we wanted to reach the outlook with the beautiful vista that is along the path." The third monk then spoke up quite forcefully, "I am not interested in escaping what is behind us or focusing on distant goals. I thought we were simply walking the path to enjoy the views each step along the way." Impatient with what the others had said, the fourth monk said, "I thought we headed out on this walk to get exercise. The goals you all have for our walk are all temporary. By building up our strength, we will be better prepared for even longer hikes that we may have to undergo. Also, it is such a delight to move and feel vitality coursing through the body." As each was committed to his approach for walking the path, they each decided to go their own way. After all, why should they be troubled to walk with someone who had a different understanding of what the walk was about? The further he walked from the monastery, the less the first monk felt oppressed by the festivities that he had left behind. When he felt quite removed from the monastery, his motivation for the hike disappeared, and he sat down and took a nap, leaning against a tree. The second monk was so eager to reach the outlook that he didn't notice the rocks and roots that lay across the path. He stumbled and fell often. After a while, he was scraped and bruised enough that he sat down, giving up on hiking any further along the path. When the path passed through a scenic meadow, the third monk left the path to admire the beautiful butterflies flying among the colorful flowers. Thoroughly enjoying himself, he stayed in the meadow until it was time to return to the monastery. The fourth monk became absorbed in the exercise of walking. As the flow of vitality increased in his body, his attention was increasingly absorbed into his immediate physical experience. When the path went by the outlook, he didn't notice and kept hiking further into the mountains. That evening, the abbess, who tended to notice everything that happened at the monastery, met with the four monks to ask why they had left together but returned separately. The monks explained that they had disagreed about why they were there on the path. They said because they couldn't agree on what they were doing, they had separated, each hiking according to his own purpose for walking the path. Upon hearing this, the abbess laughed and then said, "The Buddhist path only exists when someone walks it. While people walk on this path for many different reasons, they are equally all walkers. It doesn't matter what motivates them, as long as they walk the path mindfully. If you are mindful, the shortcomings of any purpose will be overcome. As abbess, my job is to help make sure you keep walking the path. Your mindfulness and persistence will take care of everything else."